What's something the internet killed that you miss? Having a mental catalogue of great jokes that most people hadn't heard. It was so much fun to drop a few at parties and get some laughs. Going through life without worrying about somebody taking a video of you and positing it for everybody to see. If you were exceedingly dumb or had terrible ideas, your reach was really only your direct circle of friends. Now idiots can broadcast their ideas across the planet with a click. I'm seeing a few people say movie rental stores. I think specifically the moment when mom and dad say let's go rent movies tonight and you knew you were in for a night of staying up late and eating junk food. Those were the days, man. Note, my first silver. Note 2, man oh man, my first gold. I knew Pokemon, Mewtwo Strikes Back was going to positively impact my future. Video game secrets. It was really cool hearing kids talk about if you beat every person in a row without losing, you fight a secret boss in Street Fighter 2. And the only way you'd actually know for sure is if it happened in front of you. And being the first to speed news of secrets and Easter eggs among your group of friends. Now you can look up whatever you want to know, and where to find any object in almost every game there is. I miss playground rumors. And when games had genuine mystery. User-generated web content with no thought to advertising, search engine optimization, monetizing. There is now a work culture of always being reachable by email or text for whatever happens. A lot of places expect you to be pretty much on call even when you're not at the office anymore. I worked at an ad agency where days off sometimes didn't even feel like that, because I would still be getting emails about things and was expected to be checking them. There should be some level of balance between work and personal life, and I feel like that is fading because so many places are adapting this type of culture, especially startups. Saturday morning cartoons. As I get older, I realize the ritual of a thing is just as important as the actual thing itself. It's not just about the cartoons. Watching them as an adult, many of the cartoons from the 80s and early 90s were terrible. Rather, it was the event of Saturday morning cartoons that I miss. My daughters can watch whatever they want whenever they want to watch it. They don't know what it is like to have to wait for a week for a new episode. They usually just binge their shows whenever they want. If my kids want to spend the entire weekend watching My Little Pony, they can. And they can do it the week after, too. They don't know what it is like to miss an episode of Power Rangers because it was now scheduled at 7 a.m. instead of 6:30 and I had to leave for school. They also don't have to watch TV together. They can just watch whatever on their phones or tablets or on the TV in the living room. Nothing, except my wife and I, stop them from consuming the specific entertainment that they want. Edit, a stray period was bugging me. My dad says he misses having arguments with friends which could only be resolved by phoning whoever was most knowledgeable on a subject. For example, did you know lightning travels upwards? No, it goes down. Let's phone your dad, he's a meteorologist. Just going over to your friend's house or the park unannounced to see if they were there and hang out. Yard sales, garage sales and flea markets. People still have them, but it's way harder to find stuff at a good price. eBay and Amazon have ruined that, because everybody just looks up what things are selling for. And sometimes eBay is ridiculously inflated. I found a rare Nerf gun that we had been looking for at a flea market once, and the lady was charging $150, because that was the going rate on eBay. People are always selling action figures in crappy condition for $20, because they don't realize that that price is mint in box, and all of the arms and legs are required. Like, I just wanna grab a TMNT toy for my kids. I'm not paying $20 for your broken toy. It used to be about persistence and digging up a good deal somewhere. Now, I may as well just buy it off of eBay. The cost is the same and my house smells better than most of the people at the flea markets. At Disneyland, after you had ridden on the Haunted Mansion ride, you could ask a member of staff to provide you with a special secret death certificate to say that you died on the ride. Obviously it's not legally binding, it was a secret, but when I was younger and visited Disneyland my mother heard someone request it, and after asking them about it, then we all got one. Unfortunately, with the advent of the internet, the secret got out and too many people were asking for death certificate, so Disney in their infinite wisdom scrapped the little Easter egg. I've since lost mine and had one day hoped to get one for my child. Edit. Wow, did not expect this comment to blow up. Thanks for the silver and all the tricks to try if I ever go back there. My eyesight. AOL chat rooms. Around 2006-ish, the internet moved from being a way to talk to new people to a way to keep talking to people you already know. That's super useful and all, but there was a lot to be said for building friendships with total strangers who you only knew by a username, but would still chat to every night. It was part of the internet of discovery rather than the internet of familiarity. I miss it, at times. It was nice to have it be so easy to build those connections. BBS systems. When I was a kid, there were local bulletin board systems. We chatted, we left messages, arranged Doom death matches and played door games. Then you'd see those people in real life, at school and user meetups. It was all local. Photo albums. My parents have all these awesome albums from when they were kids, and then when they got married, and then from my childhood. I love leafing through them when I'm at their house. My own photos are all on Facebook or Instagram and it's not the same at all. I miss when concerts didn't have a sea of people filming a video from their phone. Deleted. I miss the feeling of walking into a Blockbuster but still appreciate the convenience of streaming. Like many people, I'm often nostalgic for the feeling of brick and mortar rental stores. Being off the grid. Internet and cell phones ruined it. Nothing stresses me out more than a string of texts in the morning. I feel like I have to check it in case it's work related. Email used to be fun. Now it's just a series of people needing something from me or trying to sell me something. Maybe I'm just an old cranky man. Reading a book before bed. Now I mostly surf the web until I get tired. Bookstores and music stores. The feeling of walking into a Borders and browsing the eternally high bookshelves can't be topped. Journalism, via forcing a change from subscription to eyeball/ad/click based revenue. Get the facts right became get it out first. Unemployed person on Twitter became journalist. Don't become the story became your identity drives your reporting. Be objective became advocate. Newspapers and reporters became brand names. The evening news became the evening 6-hour opinion block. Nintendo Power. This weekend my wife and I went apartment hunting in a super rural area that had no listings posted online. We popped into a real estate office and talked to someone there about apartment rentals. They just sold houses, but they gave us a few names and numbers of friends they had that did rentals. One was the owner of a lumber supply shop, so we followed the real estate guy's directions up the street, turn at the bank, go through a light and turn to the right to the lumber yard. The owner was busy, so we spoke with the guy there behind the counter. He said the owner didn't have anything available at the moment but gave us more friends' numbers to call. It was like doing detective work in the 80s. We found a nice place and made arrangements for the lease all in one day. Kinda made me appreciate the days before instant gratification of online house hunting. Reading. I used to read almost one book per day as a child. Now I have a lot of trouble focusing and I rarely finish a book even though I find it interesting. AFV. Quite a few things I could mention. Going to the mall, privacy, etc., but I really miss going to the store to buy an album I like. I loved record stores. I still like buying the CD because it contains artwork and there's just something special about having an album in your hands that you've been waiting years to listen to. Now everything is on iTunes or Spotify. It's impersonal than it should. I really miss Minecraft before it was memed. It was such a wholesome game that I honestly loved playing when I was younger. Event planning / announcements didn't rely on Facebook. I mean, social media was in full swing by the time I was 19, so I only speak of teenage/childhood memories, but I feel like when event planning involved phone calling, texting, and speaking to each other face to face, you really had mutual connection from people who were as into the idea as you were. Nowadays someone ticks that maybe, interested, or yes button, or says oh sweet I'll get back to you in Messenger, and that's the last you hear from them until they don't show anyways. And yes, I'm bitter from being on the receiving end of many people doing that. Shame. People jump on and are just complete fuckwads and never have to deal with the consequences. If people had to look someone in the face, they mostly wouldn't spout that they do. Not having access to literally all the information. By that I mean I love that there is a wealth of knowledge at my fingertips, but there's also a lot of garbage, noise, and information that I just don't need to know. Imagination is dying. It's good for the brain to get bored and wander and think and imagine. Mags being randomly discarded in public places. Finding one as teen was like an epic loot drop. My social life.